Social media this week has been dominated by one conversation: police brutality and institutionalized racism in the US and across the world. Following the police killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis, condemnation and calls for justice have resounded from all corners of the globe, and Africans took to social media in solidarity. A number of African leaders, including African Union chairperson Musa Faki Mahamat, took to Twitter in reaction to George Floyd's death. He wrote, "On behalf of the entire African Union family, I condemn in the strongest terms the murder of George Floyd at the hands of law enforcement officers." And young activists across the continent also expressed their solidarity with protests currently unfolding across the US. Kenyan environmental activist Vanessa Nakate posted a sign on Twitter reading, "I can't breathe, silence is consent." And a number of African artists spoke out, including Nigerian musician Denola Gray, who expressed his dismay on Twitter. He wrote, "The world is so heavy right now. In Nigeria, in America, it's disheartening. Value our lives, it's not an outrageous ask." And in an unusual move, several US embassies in Africa also took to social media to address what happened to George Floyd. In Nairobi, the US Embassy tweeted, "We are deeply troubled by the death of Mr. George Floyd in Minneapolis. Law enforcement officials must be held accountable in every country." While in Uganda, the US Embassy tweeted that government officials should not operate with impunity in any country. And back on the streets of Minneapolis, one Kenyan taxi driver has made the rounds on social media after leading a Swahili chant of Haki Yetu, meaning our rights, during one Minneapolis protest. On Twitter, one supporter said, "Kenyans are a rare breed. They have already taken Haki Yetu to Minneapolis." While another Twitter user wrote, "Amazing, the ringing of Haki Yetu in the streets of my city, Minneapolis, is a rallying call against oppression. There is something so powerful when the notion of haki, justice, is invoked in Swahili. Our country is crying for uhaki." And that's it from us in Nairobi. I'm Amy McConaughey. Join us next week or continue this conversation by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CGTN Africa.